Good evening and thank you for joining us on ABC24 News at 5. I'm Lauren Turman. We've got a lot to get to tonight, so let's get straight to our top story. Attorney General Pam Bondi posted updated numbers on the Memphis Safe Task Force operations this morning. And nearly 300 people have been arrested since agents arrived, with nearly 50 arrests happening last night. It is day 7 of the Memphis Safe Task Force being on the ground, and we've been following this story from the very beginning. And here's what we've been seeing. Federal agents, including the U.S. Marshals Service, ICE, and DHS, are now part of a daily enforcement in Memphis. This after President Donald Trump decided to deploy these officials as part of his Make Memphis Safe Again agenda to combat crime. But what happens legally when someone is arrested by a federal agent? How do these cases move from the state to federal court? And what does this mean for juveniles or immigrant communities? We are asking attorneys and advocates those questions and looking into the task force while they are measuring their success. And tonight at 10, ABC24's Shakina Davis will have more on what local attorneys and advocates have to say. And we have also known that immigration enforcement is a key part of this task force and have confirmed detainments in Memphis over the past week. And while advocacy groups continue to sound the alarm on how this impacts immigrant communities, it could now become a whole lot more difficult for them. Last month, the Supreme Court made a decision that could impact and increase racial profiling towards immigration raids. The American Immigration Council says this gives agents a green light to stop anyone they suspect of being here illegally, even if the reason for this stop was race. This supports the idea that ICE and Border Patrol are focusing on those who speak Spanish or hold certain jobs and then asking them for their papers. Just last week, ABC24 received this video of 3 individuals detained outside Lion Mart near Winchester and Perkins Road on Wednesday night. And according to Vicendarios 901, an organization who supports those that are affected by ICE, they echo concerns that the ruling will embolden federal agents and lead to people avoiding public spaces or traveling for fear of being profiled. And the arrival of the task force is sparking strong feelings from many of you as well. And you have been reaching out to us to let us know what you think. One viewer wrote into us saying, "Let them do what they do. It has been peaceful for the last few days. What we need to be doing is figuring out how to keep it going when they leave. Let's stop complaining and enjoy the peace that we have now." And someone else wrote, "I am in full agreement and support of the National Guard stepping in to clean up crime in Memphis. Crime has been out of control for decades, causing people to fear and many to leave our city. Make Memphis safe again." And someone else wrote in, "I believe the National Guard is being used as a subterfuge for ICE to round up undocumented and documented immigrants. Tennessee is a red state, but Memphis is a blue city, and that's why there is no respect or coordination with our city officials." And we want to continue to hear your thoughts on the Memphis Safe Task Force, from what you're seeing to the impact you're feeling. You can text us at 901-321-7520 to share your opinion, and you might see it here on ABC24. I'm now here with meteorologist Kit Thomas. And Kit, we've had a really nice couple of days here, albeit hot, but I understand that things may be cooling down a little bit into this week.
We're going to cool down this week, and it's going to be right after we finally see some rain in the area. So
nice.
Two things that we've been lacking in the Mid-South.
Yes, we definitely need that rain, so that's a great thing.
All right, let's take a look outside in Cordova this evening. So we've got a few clouds out there right now. Not a whole lot happening, but we will still see the chance for those temperatures to cool down once we get the rain in the area. The thing is, we're just going to block out all the sunshine tomorrow. High temperature today, 86 degrees. That's decently above average. We've seen most of us in the 80s to mid 80s around the area. Average is 80 degrees right now. We'll start to see average drop down into the 70s here in the next couple of days. We've already seen our low average dropping down into the 50s. This morning, though, we were about 5 degrees above normal. As we take a look at satellite and radar and some of the surface features around the area, there is a chance for some isolated severe storms across the Central Plains right along a cold front. That's coming our direction in the next few days. Meanwhile, we've got a warm front to our south bringing a lot of moisture north. That low is going to be sending us the moisture here over the next couple of days. We're currently at our high temperature, but we'll start to cool down over the next several hours this evening into the 70s there by 8 o'clock. But we're going to be looking at maybe some 70s for some highs in the next few days. I'll have a look at that forecast still ahead.
Thanks, Kit. The DoubleTree by Hilton in downtown Memphis will be shutting its doors for good next month. A warn notice with the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development states that this closure will impact 88 employees. The hotel housed nearly 300 rooms and in 2019 was expected to undergo an almost $50 million renovation to modernize it, but that was never completed. The Hilton website shows the hotel is still accepting reservations right now, but it will close on November 30th. Hundreds of neighbors in Shelby County could soon get a fresh start. The criminal court clerk's office is hosting its 30th Erase and Elevate Expungement Clinic in Whitehaven, part of a solution-seeking mission to clear 10,000 records and open doors to jobs, housing, and education. It's happening in about 2 weeks on October 25th from 9 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon at the New Hope Baptist Church of Memphis. The clinic will also offer career help, voter resources, and mental health support to the community. And at ABC24, we are committed to seeking solutions for you. If there is a problem in your neighborhood that isn't getting solved, you can text the word solutions and describe the issue to 901-321-7520, and we'll tackle it together. There is still much more to come on the news at 5, including this. Defying the courts. Up next, learn why a court ruling is not stopping President Trump from sending the National Guard to Portland, Oregon. And later, the federal government shutdown extends into a second week. Learn why your access to health care is the sticking point. Stay with us.
A federal judge has temporarily
Tonight, in spite of a judge blocking President Trump's efforts to deploy Oregon National Guard troops to Portland, the president isn't taking no for an answer. And now, as ABC's Selena Wang tells us, he's ordering 300 members of the California National Guard to the city instead, troops he had already federalized months ago.
A federal judge has temporarily blocked President Trump's plan to federalize the Oregon National Guard for deployment to Portland.
Will you follow the judge's order in Portland?
We're going to look at that. It was amazing. Portland is burning to the ground, and you've seen it. The place is burning down, and they pretend like there's nothing happening.
The judge, who was appointed by Trump, saying the administration's description about chaos in Portland is simply untethered to the facts, and the president likely exceeded his authority under the Constitution. In response, the president appealing the judge's ruling and also is now deploying 300 federally controlled members of California's National Guard to Portland instead. That's according to California Governor Gavin Newsom, who's pledging to fight the move in court, accusing Trump of using the U.S. military as a political weapon against American citizens. The White House responding, saying President Trump has exercised his lawful authority to protect federal assets and personnel in Portland. Meanwhile, tensions boiling over in Chicago. On Saturday, ICE agents shot and injured a woman they say was armed after federal officials say they were rammed by vehicles and boxed in by 10 cars. The incident sparking more protests in the city after days of demonstrations against Trump's immigration crackdown. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker continues to push back against the president's plan to send 300 National Guard troops to Chicago, criticizing ICE operations, telling CNN
they're raiding neighborhoods where instead of going after the bad guys, they're just picking up people who are brown and black and then checking their credentials. Are you a U.S. citizen?
The White House telling ABC News the troops are necessary to protect federal officers and assets, and that Trump won't, quote, turn a blind eye to the lawlessness plaguing American cities. Selena Wang, ABC News, the White House.
And coming up, disaster relief for data. Learn why some states face delays for FEMA assistance when extreme weather strikes. Up next. Today marks 5 days since the federal government shutdown, and there is no end in sight. It's causing delays to services nationwide, including the September jobs report, which was supposed to be released on Friday. One private data source, the ADP payroll report, estimates the private sector lost 32,000 jobs, but healthcare and education added jobs. If the shutdown drags on and continues to delay these reports, the Federal Reserve could be missing key data it needs to make a decision on raising or lowering interest rates. The primary major sticking point of this impasse is health care. Democrats want Republicans to reverse the Medicaid cuts from President Trump's big, beautiful bill and extend tax credits to health insurance premiums from skyrocketing up 50 to 75% next year. Republicans say they can discuss health care policy later, but want to fund the government at current levels, at least for now. And federal grant money to help states prepare for emergencies has been put on hold. FEMA is now ordering states to prove their population counts before they can get money. States must also confirm that deported migrants are not included in the total. FEMA says some states may be getting inflated payments because most of the grant money is distributed based on population. In the past, FEMA used U.S. Census data to measure state populations and determine grant allocations. The emergency management performance grants totaled more than $300 million last year and helped fund local disaster readiness efforts.
Well, turning now to the forecast, of course, we've had a pretty pleasant weekend, lots of sunshine, lots of blue sky, but we're looking out over Midtown and downtown this evening. We're starting to see a few clouds filtering through the area. We're going to be a lot more cloudy tomorrow and the next couple of days as we see the chance for some more rain coming into the forecast. We're at 86 degrees right now here in Memphis. Tunica, we're also at 86, 88, one of the warmer spots out in Batesville, Blytheville, around 87 degrees. We're all in the 80s here across the Mid-South this evening. Overall, though, we're going to start to cool down tonight. We're not going to be back into the mid-80s for quite a while, it looks like. The temperature change in the last 24 hours. We are warmer today than we were this time yesterday. We're going to cool down significantly, though, as we head into tomorrow. The dew points are mostly in the 60s. We've seen some moisture rising around the area. It's been coming up from the south over the last couple of days here, and it's made it a little more humid today than it was yesterday or the day before. Thing is, that's a precursor to a lot more humidity as we get into Monday and Tuesday. We've got some rain on the way, so that'll actually be converted into some showers for us, but it will feel a little more damp. Then we dry out right after that. Looking at satellite and radar, of course, you can see more of that moisture coming up from the south that's going to be reaching our area as we head overnight tonight and into early tomorrow. Looking a little bit closer, you can see just some of those little puffy cumulus clouds showing up on satellite here around the area. Not any rain tonight, but it will start up as we head into tomorrow. Starting off here around 4 a.m., we've got a wave of some thicker clouds coming in by tomorrow morning. Then we could see some scattered showers by mid to late morning on our Monday. So the morning commute is fine, but then as we get into the afternoon, that's when we start to pick up more showers around the area. Now this model in particular is showing a complex of thunderstorms coming through northern Arkansas into northeast Arkansas, so it could be some very heavy rain rates within those thunderstorms. That's going to mean a potential for some flooding. We're in a drought around much of the area, so that allows the ground to really compact, and when it dries out, it's like a dry sponge you haven't started using yet. You've got to work it under the water for a little bit before it can really start to absorb the water, so that's going to lead to some flooding across parts of those very parched grounds there across northeast Arkansas. As we get into Tuesday, we still see a chance for some scattered thunderstorms, but notice the winds are changing from out of the southwest to out of the due north. That's going to be the cold front coming in, bringing in much colder temperatures as we go through our 7-day forecast. Look at that forecast there. We might see a little bit of a surge on Tuesday, getting us back up into the low 80s, but it's going to feel nice and fall-like after the cold front swings through. Brings in much more mild temperatures there. Thursday and Friday, we're into the 70s for a couple of days. We might warm back up next weekend, but overall, it'll start to feel a little more like fall after this rain.
Yes, Thursday is looking like my kind of weather there. Seeing mid-70s,
Back in the mid-70s is perfect weather.
Absolutely. I thought it was going to be a while till we saw that again, so I'm glad you're bringing out the nice weather, kid.
I'm happy to provide.
Yeah. Thanks. And coming up, Memphis makes a statement under the lights. We're going to break down the big plays and what this win means for the Tigers' playoff hopes. The Memphis Tigers are climbing, now ranked 23rd in the country in today's AP Top 25 poll. Now, this comes after another statement win on Saturday night as the Tigers rolled over Tulsa to stay perfect on the year. ABC24's Richard Denson was there as Memphis showed why they are one of college football's hottest teams.
Yeah, it was a statement win Saturday night under the lights here at the Liberty Bowl. The Tigers handled Tulsa 45-7, staying unbeaten and remaining one of the hottest teams in college football right now. There was big plays on both sides of the ball, plenty of highlight reel moments that had this place buzzing. Memphis came out with confidence in their first night game of the season, and they never let up. Quarterback Brendan Lewis put together another electric performance, tossing 4 touchdowns, including this one-handed grab by Cortez Bram that turned into an instant highlight.
Yeah, I gotta give Cortez. I gotta give it to Cortez. That play was just nasty. I think he caught it with like 3 fingers. I was so shook on the field.
Lewis racked up more than 300 all-purpose yards, spreading the ball around to a deep group of receivers who kept Tulsa guessing.
Yeah, like I've always said since day one, the whole receiving group, that whole room can make plays, and that definitely showed tonight.
But just as big, Memphis defense. The Tigers forced 4 turnovers and held Tulsa to under 250 total yards, proving why this unit is one of the best in the conference.
We come out every day and we work our tail off, and that's what we come in the game. We come in the game knowing we're gonna get turnovers, and that's what we thrive off of. TTB, take the ball, and we just got elite confidence from our preparation.
That chemistry is fueling the entire team, and both sides of the ball are feeding off each other's energy.
We get a turnover and we give it to the offense to score. And, we make plays on special teams. That's something we always, thrive on and just emphasize on in practice, playing all 4 phases.
Now 6-0, Memphis becomes the first team in college football this season to reach bowl eligibility, and they're already looking ahead tomorrow. This is why I came to Memphis to win games. I'm really happy for the city of Memphis that they can be on the ride with us.
Our goal has never been to go to a bowl game. That's not why we signed up to play football this year. That's not why we go to work every single day. It's to be 1-0 every week.
So Memphis heads into the bye week undefeated, bowl eligible, and full of confidence after another dominant showing here on the football field. Reporting from Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, Richard Denson, ABC24 News.
Well, we've got the chance for some rain in the next couple of days. The extended outlook looks like we're swinging back dry again. I'll have a look at that when we get back.
We're taking you around the community now. The annual preseason garage sale at the FedEx Forum helped the Grizzlies clear some space for the upcoming season as it gets ready to kick off later this month. Everything from autographed photos and basketballs to jerseys and memorabilia, as well as gently used furniture and table sets, all at deeply discounted rates. And one lucky fan even found a D-Rose signed pair of shoes. Very cool.
Also very cool is this forecast as we're looking at temperatures returning to the 70s for highs. The next couple of days are going to be a bit more gloomy though. Maybe a few thunderstorms embedded in some showers around the area. Then a cold front comes through Tuesday night. That's going to bring our temperatures down into the 70s for highs and even some 50s for lows. It's going to feel pretty cool. But next weekend, it looks like we start back into a warmer pattern, especially across the central U.S. That's also going to mean drier weather for us as we look at that same time frame. Below average rainfall. Not a ton of rain around this time of year, but in general, it looks like we're staying very clear, which would put us below average.
First of all, I like what you did there at the beginning, but also, yes, some very much needed rain. I know we've been looking forward to that for a while now.
Yeah, and hopefully it helps us out with the drought because it's going to be a while before we see any more help.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll get some more soon there. Thanks, Kit. And thank you all for joining us for ABC24 News at 5. We'll see you back at 10.
Continue with us and watch free now on the 24 Plus app everywhere you stream.